think the mic's working. Maybe the game's working. Maybe. Just maybe this is gonna work. We'll find out for sure. We'll all play along and learn together. But hey, everyone, hello, welcome. Can you believe it? We're playing Final Fantasy XIV. Oh man. First of all, I only like half remember where we were in the story. I kind of watched like the last 10 minutes of the last time I streamed this just to try to catch up a little bit. It's gonna be fun. It's been pretty close to like a month since we played this last. But hey, it's me, Grayson, Alan, the person who streams on this game. Anyway, he's here. Hydroprol said hello, and then Lala and Hatun are here too. Hatun is desperately trying to sabotage everything, I think, by laying out curses against the stream. Very rude. Lala's, yeah, yesterday's stream went pretty well overall. I mean, we had some technical goofs here and there. Had a couple of little things we had to figure out, but I think we'll get back into the flow of things here. I think let me know how things sound for you as far as the game and my mic, and I guess if things like look good too. I tried to since we're probably we're streaming on YouTube now is going to be the thing. I think is going to be our long-term home for the moment. I'm trying to get the stream more optimized specifically for YouTube. I mean, the big benefit for single streaming... Oh, George died. There's nothing that could have been done. A big benefit for single streaming is that you can really optimize the stream to run as good as it can on the one platform. That was always half the problem I had when I was multi-streaming is I had to have all my settings so that they could work on Twitch and YouTube, they're similar but not quite identical in what they want. And so there's always a little bit of a weirdness that would result of that. But I think now we can basically plan just to have a really nice, smooth YouTube stream for folks, which I think will be nice for the long term once we kind of get through this transitionary phase. Tune says, "In Lohi doth he appear." Yeah, exactly. Gaze upon me. Lala says, "I wonder if this was the case for you to try to join me." Yeah, I mean, actually, I didn't really rewatching that last segment of the stream. I remembered that last time we played this, excuse me, we had probably my favorite bit of gameplay that this game has ever provided, which was our super secret or super awesome stealth mission, where we had put guards to sleep with tranquilizer darts, which that has legitimately been the most fun I've had in this game. I'm just gonna say it outright. The boss fights are fun. It's cool getting to run dungeons. But if this game could be 99% more tranquilizer dart, that would be sick. I would love that a lot. It kind of reminds me of my favorite part of Final Fantasy VII, I think was, if anybody remembers, and this is the old school Final Fantasy VII, I don't know if the remakes ever touched upon this concept again, but there was a brief part of the gameplay where you're defending a hill fortress from a bunch of enemy soldiers, and it's a real-time strategy of deciding what kind of soldiers you're gonna have and where you're gonna place them. It was a legit tower defense game inside of Final Fantasy VII. It was awesome. They only had that one sequence unless you went through and played all the side content that had, which I did, of course. But loading error says optimization is key. This is true. And by the way, I think I am seeing the chat a lot. Anyway, sorry, I need to catch up. I'm getting distracted. But hey, loading error. Thanks for stopping in. And yeah, we're gonna try to get things optimized. I want this to be a good experience for y'all and a less stressful experience for me. So I think that'll be pretty sweet if we can get that figured out. Hydra says, I love the girl's design in the thumbnail, and also it's good that you're mostly doing it on YouTube because that's the only platform I used to watch streams. Yeah, like, yeah, I mean, it was really, like, a tough decision, I'll be honest. Like, because I kept going back and forth on it for a long time. And I mean, I was talking with people in the Discord about it and talking with friends and stuff, and because Twitch kind of, I don't know, like, there's a lot of things I like about Twitch, but like Twitch was also just Twitch was like a very strict parent, where like there was nothing I was ever gonna do that was gonna be good enough for Twitch. They were always gonna be a little disappointed in me, and I feel like contrary-wise, YouTube has always been a lot easier to work with. Like there's some tomfoolery that's on YouTube as well. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like at least YouTube isn't trying to actively screw me over every single day. Where Twitch really... Twitch is a place. And Hydropil, you are correct. I think that the girl in the thumbnail is Yugiri, which she has started playing a pretty big role in the story recently, and she's pretty cool. It says in Ralger's Reach there was a side quest where you could have used the blow dart before this, I think. Oh, dang it. I'll have to go back and find that, 'cause that blow dart like mission was really fun. Loading error says NP. Well, it says Twitch is twitchy. It really is. The tune says less tomfoolery from YT. Loading error says Gray going to Rumbler. Oh man, I mean, Rumble was never a serious consideration, but I did look into it because I was just curious. I mean, I did a lot of research. I was trying to, like, cause there's, like, I guess I could start, let's see here. I think this is gonna be a long walk anyway. Let me go ahead and just, we can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, as it were. We need to get back to where I can't fly right now. It makes me so sad. Yeah, well, Tiny Gremlin thinks they're so cool because they have a flying bird. Not like us land-dwelling birds. But yeah, so we're gonna head back to where the main quest is at. But no, yeah, I was looking into, like, all the platforms because there's, like, Twitch is the big one as far as live streaming, and then YouTube is kind of... they're getting their act together. There's more and more features that are being added for live streaming, which is nice. I'm actually really not far off. If and when we hit 500 subscribers on YouTube, there's all kinds of new live streaming features get unlocked, which is pretty cool. So that'll be something for us to look forward to. Once we can I cross this? I think I can. I can swim, I can breathe underwater. My bird died. Forgot that happens. I could have taken the bridge, I guess, but that would have been silly. What was I saying? Oh yeah, but I looked into all the different ones. I looked into, Twitch, YouTube. I looked into Facebook gaming, which is a thing. Wasn't a big fan of that plan, mostly because I mean Facebook. And then there's Kick, which is kind of an up-and-comer. Kick is interesting. They might not... Oh, don't look at me with that. Ouch. Alright. Want to fight? Yeah, I thought so. Only took 2 hits from just me fighting it. Definitely wasn't getting saved by Tiny Gremlin. But no, yeah, so Kick is interesting. They might eventually become a really good option for certain kinds of streamers. Rumble is just a wild card. I don't know if I'd ever use Rumble myself, but I'm glad people have found success there, I guess. This says Kick is a lawless town. It's exactly what Kick is. It's the Wild West. Anything can be done there for anyone at any time. There's Yugiri, we found her. See? It wasn't just a clickbait thumbnail. Yugiri is here. Actually, that's the reason I started watching my previous Twitch stream to catch up, was I was making the thumbnail. I was like, I think Yugiri was in this mission. They're like, oh, I can't remember for sure though. I better double check to make sure I'm not making a thumbnail that's a complete and utter lie, because that would be embarrassing. Actually, I haven't heard of some of these streaming sites before. You know, yeah, there's quite a few actually, and I mean, a lot of them you don't hear about them very often because they're not very good. They have questionable like users, like Rumble's kind of infamous because like it's a hotbed of like alt activists and other unsavory types. Kick, I mean, Kick is trying really hard to pretend they're legitimate, but it's basically a gambling site, amongst other things that are even less savory, perhaps. But, you know, it's working for some people, so I can't fault them too much. I don't know if I can have George for this section, but I might as well summon George just in case I can. There's some, speaking of Kick, do you see that XQC signed? Yeah, freaking, yeah, Rumble's racist and conspiracy theorists. Yeah, that's basically right. Rumble and like, or loading error. And like, and it's not even like the fun kind of conspiracy theorists. It's like the really out there, like hardcore preppers and the people that are just really, really off the wall. So it's not my favorite, but and yeah, XQC signed with Kick for like a stupid amount of money, which is interesting. I think with Kick, what we're gonna see is that Quick is like the Wild West right now, but I think probably another year or two, Kick is gonna really settle down and probably be a pretty decent site. It's just that right now it's still pretty unsavory, and so I didn't really much want to try messing with them if I could help it. Yeah, so we have caught up with Yugiri. I think we'll probably just go ahead and kind of get started here. If in, oops, hold on just a second. Okay, sorry. Just had to double check something. Katoon says owned by a crypto gambling site. Yeah, it is. And Katoon says it won't. I mean, you never know. There's actually, I mean, the vast majority of websites, I mean, I don't want to say the vast majority, but like a lot of like the major platforms for streaming, like started off kind of weird. Like, I can't remember like Twitch's origin, because like I think it started off as being like a, I can't remember the name of the guy, but it was just like this like one guy's random stream site that he built for himself, and like I mean YouTube started off as a dating website. That was their intent from the start until they pivoted a little. I mean, lots of places start off kind of bad, but they eventually legitimize. So I mean, we can always hope that Kick does that, but we'll never. I guess we'll find out. It says, don't get me wrong, a little bit of a doomsday prepper because you can never be too careful, but then on Rumble, be crazy. I mean, well, there's a difference between somebody who's like prepared, which is not a bad thing. Like, there's nothing wrong with like having some extra food storage and having like survival gear. Like, that's fine. It never hurts to be ready for like, I mean, even just like natural disasters. It doesn't have to be like anything crazy, but I mean, stuff can go wrong, like, depending on where you live. Like, if you're like in hurricane country and you live in a place where like you potentially might get flooded out and have to bounce, or you might like have no power for a couple of weeks and have to have like generators and things, that makes sense. That's totally fine. But then there's the people that are like stockpiling enough weapons for like their own small militia, or like just like holding on like just like bunkers upon bunkers full of nonsense. Where like that's a little much. It says I got extra food and weaponry. I'm planning on a safe room. I mean, I think that's still within a reasonable level. Like, I mean, roundabout where I live, that's not terribly uncommon. Like, for people to have, like, safe rooms and maybe, like, a gun safe. Like, that's still, like, not too out there. But... Baba Boy? Bro, tell me why you sound like a game narrator? I couldn't tell you why. I'm talking the way I talk. But, howdy, Baba Boy. I believe this is the first time chat from you. The tune says, do I have a bunker, Gray? No. I mean, technically, actually, I'm living in a bunker right now. I have a sweet basement that I get a stream from, which is the best. Not fully a bunker. But I would totes, like, my dream house I've always wanted would be like those like houses that the hobbits have in Lord of the Rings, where it's like mostly underground. I love that. That would be the best. Yeah, hi to Baba Boy for stopping in. Hope you're having a lovely time. So I mean, technically you're kind of narrating this game. Sort of. This is real pro basement streamer. Thanks. I aspired to one day stream from a basement, and by golly, I made it. But okay, let's go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and get started on the game. Sorry, I've been chatting and just not actually doing the proper game. So, oops. Loading says ground scrappers are in discussion right now with some governments. It doesn't. That's interesting. I guess wouldn't surprise me. Oh wait, says bro, you should work for narration on commercials. Sure. Baba Boy, if you have an in for the industry, let me know. Totally go for it. I don't know. I think it says lol. Yeah, let's go ahead and we're gonna get started on. We're in the middle of it. We're about to infiltrate this base with our sweet dragon lady friend. And we're gonna find out what's going on here. The will to live. Yugiri is in her element.
Despite the urgency of the situation, we must still proceed with the utmost caution to ensure the safety of the villagers. To wit, we must infiltrate the castrum without raising the alarm. I will deal with any soldiers near the entrance. Stand watch for others approaching from the north until you hear my signal.
I think that just means I go in, right? Gosh. Oh, there you go. Okay, sorry, over there. So apparently I am standing watch while she gets to do the cool ninja stuff. That's totally fair. I'm not mad. Oasis, my cousin's 36 years old and still don't have a job. Yeah, I mean, that can certainly happen. I wouldn't recommend that particular lifestyle, at least not as a choice. I know for some people it can be really hard to find a job that they can jive with, and you know, I can understand it's a little different for everybody, but I mean, you gotta. It's good to at least try if you can. But for a mercy, you spy no Imperial patrols bound for the castrum. A hawk's cry pierces the silence. Yugiri is waiting. Alright, I guess Yugiri killed everybody. Hi, tiny gremlin. Mexico had a plan for a 51-story ground scraper underneath the square. Oh, that's nuts. June says you can't stand a samurai to do it. Just jump, bro. Wait, so what game is that? Oh yeah, we're playing Final Fantasy XIV. It's Final Fantasy, I guess. If you've ever played like I think like 16 just barely came out, but we're still catching up on 14. They're dead. The spindly soldier. So low to you. Strapping soldier. Wow, we killed him.
Speak softly, lest the others hear us. What did they outside?
I gesture with a hand.
Ah, that is good. We may proceed as planned. These ones shall not soon wake. However, the others are too close to the villagers. Incapacitating them as I did these ones is far too risky. Fortunately, a solution presents itself. I would have you disguise yourself as an Imperial soldier, and convince them that a changing of the guard is in order. You have your pick of uniforms, they shall not protest.
Wow. Oh, hold on. Oh, guys, they were smart. They have there's a soldier for every possible body type in the game. That's actually really good attention to detail. At least a basic body type, you know. But yeah, Baba Boy, if you perhaps are a fan of RPGs and have a computer, or I think maybe it's on the PlayStation as well, there's a free trial for this game that you can get, where you can play like the whole like, I mean, it's like the whole first expansion of the game. I think you can play for free, like the first like 50, 60 odd hours. Or does it include Heavensward now too? And there's a ton of this game that you can play for free if you want to try it for yourself. It's pretty good. It's an online game, which means you can play with friends if you want to. And I enjoy it. I'm a strapping soldier, so I'll dress as a strapping soldier. This uniform appears to be more or less your size. See, that's actually a really funny detail. With all due care and consideration, you relieve the sleeping soldier of their uniform. You have chosen one to your liking, then? Excellent. I shall hide these ones where none will find them. He's gonna toss them in the ocean. They'll never be heard from again. Their families will never know what happened. Our sleeping beauties have been laid to rest in their bunks. Oh, and while I was in the barracks, I happened upon these spare uniforms, in case the items in your possession are not to your liking. That's even double funny, because now there's like no way you don't have the right size. Even if you try to grab the Lollapel outfit. That's great. The bottomless burlap sack. Nigh infinite supply of Imperial equipment, though it'd be best if we did not attempt to put that cursory assessment to the proof. Nigh infinite supply. That's really funny, actually. Is he gonna get a helmet too? Shush, Shatun. Don't. You're just jealous of my sweet ears. My boy says, you know why I keep seeing only black and white? I can't even pay my eye thing that costs $17. Uh-oh. That's not good, Baba Boy. Gotta work on saving up, I guess. This Kabuto and Tekko should match the Uwagi, Hakama, and Choka in your possession. I think you made up those words. And with that, you have a full set. I am sure that once you change, it will seem as though it was bespoke. You will need to give the soldiers guarding the villagers a proper Imperial salute to complete the deception, and convince them to come here, where I will be waiting to deal with them. Okay. Can I dress up as... inventory? Did they... Oh, okay. Okay, so you know where Uwagi. This was the dumbest way to do it, but I've done it this way, apparently. I now look like I am an Imperial soldier. and they will definitely trust me. They will not be suspicious of a rabbit man.